Okay, let's talk about our finances. uh, and whether you use a financial planner or not. And if you just heard those words and cringed because you think it means something different than it probably really means, then just give me a second, because I used to think the same. And I only have one regret about using a financial planner, and that is that I didn't start sooner. So let me just get into it a little bit. My name is Leslie Tadlock, and this is a Tad More Living, where together we can explore living out the rest of our years, the years past 60 ish, in a healthy, active, um, fun way. But to do that, we've got to focus on several things. There's really four main areas to focus on in looking at the rest of your life, the years past 60. And that's your fitness, both nutritional fitness and physical fitness. It's your finances, ding, ding, ding. It is your lifestyle, and it is your mental capacity. So let's just talk about finances. Years ago, I kind of always felt like we could use help in that area. I even interviewed a couple of financial planners a couple of times, but I don't know, it just didn't click. It just didn't feel like what they said and what we were looking for lined up. So we just didn't do it. And then we both had the type of careers with a steady paycheck, a benefit package that included some insurance and things like that with it, the 401ks, all those types of things. And that helps you feel like you know what's going on with your finances. You get your bills in the mail or however they come, you take care of those. Your paychecks go into certain accounts. Your 401k goes into certain accounts, which is your future and your retirement. And withdrawals, the withholdings are held so that things like Social Security gets paid. That happens automatically. So it's super easy to get into kind of a comfort zone with that. But then in 2018, while still keeping my full time job, I got a real estate license and just started kind of working real estate on the side. I was trying to learn it. I actually was trying to figure out when to quit the full time job and just go into real estate. But a real estate paycheck comes along, and you realize that you don't know what to do with this money. Nobody's withheld anything. I've got to pay some taxes. I now have a 1099 income that I will qualify for some tax benefits from. But what are those, and how do I account for those and keep up with those? And I just started having so many questions. And one of the girls in my real estate office just happened to mention her financial planner. And I thought, okay, well, let me just find out who this is, because if he works with her on her type of real estate income, she was full time, then they could certainly give me some guidance as well. So I reached out to the financial planner. My husband and I made an appointment, sat down together, and we did click. Everything just sounded good. We asked some questions that scared us a little. One is, how much does this cost? Because one of the first things that I hear people say when I tell them they need a financial planner is, I don't have enough money for a financial planner. But the way ours works is, if you're not gaining more than you pay for it, you shouldn't be using it. And if I don't misunderstand this, if I understand this correctly, we are charged based on what we can afford. So if you feel like you don't have any money for a financial planner, you may be completely wrong. Another misconception I had, and this was actually my biggest resistance, was I didn't want to be put on a budget. We were living just fine. We liked our lifestyle. We didn't feel like we were extravagant. We didn't feel wasteful. We had money left at the end of the month, kind of thing. So I didn't want anybody putting me on a strict budget. And for me to have to feel like I needed to account for every penny I spent, where I spent it, and was it of value? Did it fit in the budget? I didn't want that shift in our lifestyle. So I was resistant to talking, I guess, to a financial planner earlier on because of that. Um, it turns out they'll work with you any way you want to. If you want to be put on a budget, they'll put you on a budget. They'll work with you on your goals and what you're trying to achieve and your income and output and put together a budget. But if you don't want to live on a budget, they don't put you on a budget. At least ours doesn't. Um, but here's what they did do. We spent several months at the beginning just doing the cleanup and organizing of our money. I had an old 401k at a previous employer that was inactive, but it was hanging out over there, substantial 401k. I knew it wasn't being utilized like I should utilize it, but I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't even know how to get it out of there. And my husband had the exact same scenario from his point of view. Then we had active 401ks, and are they being used the way we should? Are we using our HSAs the way we should? The health savings accounts, I think they're called. We both had those with our companies, but we didn't know, like we'd forget we had them, and then did we have the right kind, and all those things. I had some old IRAs from way back when, had a few small IRAs that I get statements for once a quarter, and I just put in a file. We had things that needed to be cleaned up, and then we needed to kind of decide with the planner what our game plan was moving forward. They asked us lots of questions. What do you want your retirement to look like? What type of lifestyle do you live? Do you want to have more of that or less of that in the future? At what age do you hope to retire? We worked through all those details, and they're changeable at any time. But it was a snapshot of then, right? We have a meeting with them once a quarter just to kind of rehash and look at the numbers. And we have changed our minds since then on kind of what we do want our retirement to look like. We now share a home with my mom and stepdad. Well, in 2018, we didn't know that was anywhere in our future picture. And so our finances, we actually have shared finances now here, shared responsibilities at least. We share our resources. And that's changed a little bit of the picture. So I would encourage you, if you're not working with a financial planner, to explore it. I haven't discussed this with my planner. He's still in another state. We work with him on Zoom once a quarter. And so I know we could work with people probably from anywhere within reason. And so if you want to know who he is and if he's taking new clients, we can find that out. I hadn't thought about that until just right now. But I strongly advise you to look into working with a planner, unless this is your wheelhouse and unless it's your passion and you know exactly how to invest and where your money's supposed to be and how to move this and move that and make sure you have enough for the future and that you're in the best earnings position that you could be. Unless you're into all that, then let somebody that's into all that handle all that, because it is your future, unless you win the lottery. And then you really need a financial planner, right? You need an attorney first, probably, and a financial planner second. But yeah, I strongly encourage you to look into it. If you have any questions that I didn't answer in this video, without getting into nitty-gritty stuff about our personal finances, I would love to answer the questions, because I feel like I probably opened some windows that you are wanting to peek through and see what the possibilities are out there. I don't think that you're ever too young to work with a financial planner, nor too old. And I don't think your financial picture is wrong in any way, no matter what it is, to start that process. So hope this has been a little bit of something for you to think about and interact with me about today. Thanks. Have a good day.